Good morning student. Today I am going to explain history lesson number 6 or 7. In the new edition it is of lesson number 6. Again I am going to tell you. And in old edition means only the last year's edition, it is of 7th lesson. But the paragraphs, the lines and everything are the same. So here the last part of the lesson. And what is the name of the lesson? That is New Questions and Ideas Part 3. Now in the first part and in the second part I have explained about the stories of Gautam Buddha and that his teaching and everything. And again I have explained in the second part about the Jainism also. Now here what is there in the last part or part 3 we are going to see. Now the Sangha, both the Mahavira and the Buddha felt that only those who left their homes could gain true knowledge. Now it is the thinking of Gautam Buddha and the Mahavira. What they are thinking that those who have left their homes, they can get only the true knowledge. They arranged for them to stay together in the Sangha and association of those who left their homes. Now those who have left their homes. Now where these peoples go, to this Mahavira and the Gautam Buddha, they had made one association. What is mean by the association? Or associations means organization. Now Gautam Buddha made one organization and that Vardhaman Mahavira also made association. And the people those who were following Gautam Buddha, they were going to the association of Gautam Buddha, and those who were following the Vardhaman Mahavira, they were going to the association of that Jain people. Understood? Now, what is their thinking? That was those who left the house. Those who left the house, it means that those who had left their comforts, they get the true knowledge. That's why they had made the Sangha. Sangha means the association or the group. And in Sangha or in one group, not only the 2 people, 4 people or the 5 people, that might be the thousands people also were there. The rules made for the Buddhist Sangha were written down in a book called Vinay Pitaka. Now see, the people, those who left the house, one time they left the house, it means that they should not go back to the house. They must have to follow the rules made by the Gautam Buddha. And what is the rules? The Sanghas, the associations. What is the rules? What Gautam Buddha made the rules, that is written in the book and named the book of that, it is Vinay Pitaka. From this we know that there were separate branches for men and the women. For men, branches for men there is separate branch, and the women also for the separate branches there. All men could join the Sangha. Everyone can join the Sanghas there. However, children had to take the permission of their parents, slaves of their masters, those who worked for the king had to take his permission, and debtors that of creditors. Women had to take their husband permission. Now, this Gautam Buddha said, everyone can be welcome in the Sangha. But if the children had to take the permission, if the children has come where to the Sanghas at that time, it's their duty to take the permission of their parents. If their parents had given permission, then only they can be leave their house, they can be leave their comfort and join where to the Sangha. And those who work for the kings, and that those who work for the kings, they must have to take the permission of the king. And those who were slaves means jo gulam hai, at that time they must have to take permission from the master. If their masters have not given the permission, they don't have a right to go where to the Sanghas there. So like this peoples also there, those who were working to the king, it's their duty to take the permission from the kings, and then only they can be go to the sangha, or they can be entered their name where to the sanghas, or they can leave the places. And the women also had not right with their own, they cannot go with their own where to the sanghas there, they must have to take the permission of their husband. If their husband said no, at that time the women could not enter their name where in the sangha, because they are very difficult rules there. The persons those first have admitted there in the sanghas, they must have to return the rules and regulations by Gautam Buddha, and they have to live in a simple lives there. Understood? Now men and women who joined the sangha led simple lives. They meditated for the most of the time and went to cities and villages to beg for food during fixed hours. Now they don't have to do any work there. There most of the time they must have to utilize in the meditation, and they don't have to make their food, they have to beg on food for food on the fixed hours there, during fixed hour, any time not, otherwise bhook lagi chalo मांगने के लिए, not like that. It means that the villages they went to the cities and the villages to beg for food during the fixed hours. That is why they were known as the bhikkhus. Now the bhikkhus, it is say the Prakrit word for the renounce is the beggar. But these people are the devotee of the Gautam Buddha. That's why no one is using these people as a beggar, and people with their own give food to them, because they left their house to get the true knowledge. That's why most of the people, or we people, tell them the bhikkhus there. I think that you all have seen the bhikkhus, where in our Pusad also such a bhikkhus are there, and they live where in the viharas. This they taught others and help one another. What is the duty of that bhikkhus or bhikkhunis? They must taught the people and help also one another. They also held the meetings to settle any quarrels that took place within the sangha. If in the sangha, if there is any quarrel, it is the duty of the bhikkhus to settle the matter. They can hold the meeting also, and they can give the teachings also to whom? To the people. Now those who joined the sanghas. Now who had joined the sanghas? Those who joined the sanghas included the Brahmins also were there, Kshatriyas also were there, merchants, laborers, barbers, courtesans, and the slaves also were there. That many of them wrote down the teachings of the Buddha. Now such a peoples, Brahmin, Kshatriyas, merchant, laborers, barber, courtesans, slaves, now they had written the teachings of Gautam Buddha. Whatever the teachings Gautam Buddha gave to the people, they were writing it. Some of them also composed beautiful poems also. On that, some were those who having such a imagination power, they were composing the poems, and they were describe their life in the sanghas. Now the monasteries. To begin with, the both Jaina and the Buddhist monk went from place to place throughout the year, teaching the people. These both Jain followers and Buddhist monks were there. They were not living one place. They were going from one place to other places. For what purpose? To give the teachings of Vardhaman Mahavira. Those who were following Vardhaman Mahaviras, they were called the Jain people. They also were going from one place to other places, and the Buddhist peoples also were there. They also were going from one place to other places. For what purpose? To giving the teaching to the people. What's the gave the taught by the Buddha and the Mahavira. The only time they stayed in one place was during the rainy season, when it was very difficult to travel. But when the rainy season was there, at that time it was very difficult to the followers of the Jainas, and it was very difficult to the followers of the Buddhas to go from one place to other places because of the rainy season. Others 8 months they were going and they were not living in one places. Then the supporters built temporary shelters for them in gardens, or they lived in the natural care in the hilly area. Now these 4 months, whenever there is a rainy season, it was difficult to the followers to give the teachings to the people. Means what? They cannot go from one place to other places in the rainy season. In those times, those who were the supporters of Buddhism, or those who were supporters of the Jainism, they were giving temporary shelters for them in the gardens, or sometimes these people were taking shelters in the caves. In the hilly areas, they were taking the shelter where in the caves. As time went, many supporters of the monks and the nuns and they themselves felt the need for more permanent shelters, and so the monasteries were built. Now see, after some times what happened, these monks were there, the nuns were there, so what was their work? They must have to spread up the religion everywhere, and they must have to spread the teachings of Gautama Buddha and the Mahaviras. That's why they wanted the permanent place there. So the monasteries were built. These were known as the Vihara. Now the Buddha temple is called the Viharas, and in our Pusad also such vihars were in the Lakshmi Nagar. One vihar is there, and there are some bhikkhus also. You can see there bhikkhus also there, and bhikkhunis also there. Bhikkhunis means the lady followers of Gautama Buddha, and in the morning also and the evening also they pray, and whenever the leisure time is there, at that time they give the teaching to whom? To the people. That is the work of that, and these called the Viharas. Viharas means Buddha temple. Now the earliest Viharas were made of wood. Now see, the people were living in the wood houses, means a hut, living in the wood houses. As usual, they had made the viharas of the wood there. Now we are living in such a cement concrete houses there. So our temple will also like that. So the earliest viharas were made of wood and then of bricks. And afterwards, when the men developed and when the people developed, they had made the viharas of bricks. Somewhere even in caves that were dug out in hills, especially in the western India. Very often the land on which the vihara was built donated by a rich merchant or a landowner or the king. Now where should have to build the vihara? That was the problem. So some merchants were there, those who were following Gautama Buddha's, those were very impressed by the teachings of the Gautama Buddha. Some landowners also were there, and some kings also were. They were donating the land to build the viharas. In return, they taught the people. Over the centuries, Buddhism spread up many parts of the subcontinent and the beyond. Now, if the landowners, the king and the merchant provided land to whom? To these both the bhikkhus to make the viharas, and they had made the viharas for the people, for both the bhikkhus there. In return, what they were doing, they were giving the teachings to the people, and they were helping to the people, and they were spreading Buddhism everywhere in the subcontinent and beyond that. In the subcontinent means what? Not only in India, in other countries also they were spreading the Buddhism and providing the teachings of Gautama Buddha. Now Buddhist texts tell us. Text means some books are there, such as, now see, just as the waters of the rivers lost their names and separateness when they follow into the mighty ocean, so are Varna and the ranks and the family forgotten when the followers of the Buddha join the order of a monk. Now see, Buddhist text tells us, when the rivers flows, the waters of the rivers when the flows, such a many rivers are there, Ganga, Narmada, Krishna, Kaveri, Godavari, many rivers are there, Satluj, Ravi, many rivers are there. But whenever they meet to the sea, whenever meet to any oceans there, they forgot their name. They always forget their names. Like that, those who had taken the shelters of Gautam Buddha, they had all can be forget their varnas, their ranks, their family background, and they must follow the rules and the regulations given by the Gautam Buddha. It means that Gautam Buddha has the teaching was so nice that people were forgetting all the things where they had taken the birth. Suppose if any rich family, anybody has taken the birth, and if that person is using such a luxurious facilities, but if he or she has taken, he or she has went where in the sanghas there by the teaching, they were forgetting everything where they had taken the birth, like a river. Means the river, whether this Ganga, Narmada, Kaveri, whenever it meet to the ocean, they forgets their name, and we only say that it is the Pacific Ocean, it is the Hindi Mahasagar, like that we say. So the Buddhist text tells like this. Now this is the system of ashrama. Now see, whenever 2500 years ago in the textbook we had seen that is Jainism and the Buddhism developed there. So at that time the ashram systems were developed. Now who had made such a system of ashrama? Just we are going to see it. Around the time when Jainism and Buddhism were becoming popular, now people were too much impressed by Jainism and the Buddhism, and they were attracted towards that. People were following the rules and regulations. They were entering in the Buddha religion. They were taking Buddha religions, or they were adopting the Jain religion. At that times, what happened? Brahmins peoples were there. They developed the system of ashrama. Now, ashram here, what is the mean? The word of ashram. Ashram here, the word ashram does not mean a place where people live and meditate. Mostly the ashram in front of our eyes एक कुटिया आती है, उसमें साधु बैठ के meditation करते. Not like that. It is the different. Here the word ashram does not mean a place where people live and meditate. It is used instead for a stage of life. Now our life such a 4 stages are there, and which 4 stages are there, that is given in such a ashramas there. Understood? Now what is such a 4 stages are there? 4 ashrams were recognized. First is Brahmacharya ashram, second is Grihastha ashram, Vanaprastha ashram, and the Sannyasa ashram. Now Brahman, Kshatriya and Vaishya men were expected to live simple life and study the Vedas during the early years of their life, Brahmacharya. Now this word in Brahmacharya, Brahman people, Kshatriya people, Vaishya people, that these people, they have to study, means the childhood from 6 years to that till the marriage, that take the education, that is the Brahmacharya ashram. And if we have taken education in Brahmacharya ashram, then our Grihastha ashram would be happy there. Now your stage, which stage is going on? You are learning in 6 standards, where your Brahmacharya ashram stage is going on. Understood? The life stages given, the first is Brahmacharya ashram. It means the person has to complete the education, that is Brahmacharya ashram. And whenever we are in the Brahmacharya ashram, at that time we must have to get the knowledge. We must have to get the knowledge, and we must have to collect the knowledge from everyone and learn properly. That is the Brahmacharya ashram. Another is, then afterwards, after completing the education, another is they had to marry and live as a householders. That is the Grihastha ashram. Means first of all do the study, afterwards complete the education and do the job or do the business, everything. Be capable, stand on your own feet, don't depend on the parents. That only the parents can marry you. That is the Grihastha ashram. Then they had to marry and live as the householder. That is the Grihastha ashram. Then they had to live in the forest and meditate. That is the Vanaprastha ashram. Now here see, after that, after entering in the Grihastha ashram, whenever the children grew there, तो पूरा जो घर का कारभार है वो क्या करना, बच्चों के ऊपर डाल देना and go where, to the forest and utilize most of the time where, in doing the meditation. That is the Vanaprastha ashram. फिर 2 टाइम खाना और जो भी टाइम बचे वाला है वो क्या करना, do the meditation and that take the name of the God every time there. That is the Vanaprastha ashram. और बच्चे यहाँ पे घर पे क्या कर रहे हैं, बहू क्या कर रहे हैं, that don't see there. फॉरेस्ट में जाना and utilize the time where, in the meditation. Got it? Finally they had to give up everything and become sannyasi. And whenever in the last ashram is the sannyasi ashram, now leave everything there and leave everything, give up everything and become sannyasis. And the life, this remaining life, utilize as the sannyasis people live like that. That are the 4 ashramas there. Understood? That how many there ashramas there? That is the 4 ashramas. The first is the Brahmacharya ashram. That another is the Grihastha ashram. Another is the Vanaprastha ashram, and the last is the Sannyasa ashram. And who had given it is? It is given by the Brahmin. Whenever there was the Buddhism and the Jainism was spread up 2500 years ago. At that time, such a 4 ashramas were emerged in the society. Got it? Now the next is that the system of ashramas allowed men to spend some part of their lives in meditation. Generally women were not allowed to study the Vedas. Now see, there was a discrimination. Women could not do the study of Vedas and they had to follow the ashramas chosen their husband. Means the women were not free. If her husband went to the forest, it was her duty to go to the forest there. If her husband has taken the Vanaprastha ashram, that means she also must have to go with her husband there, because women had no freedom there at that time. Now another is the Zoroasters. Was an Iranian prophet. Prophet means we can say the sages. His teachings also are connected in a book called Avesta. Avesta is the name of this Iranian prophets, whose name of the Zoroaster. He had written that book. The language of the Avesta and the practice they describe it are very similar to those of the Vedas. Now this Vedas, whatever written in the Vedas, there are 4 Vedas. That in the next part you will learn it, that the 4 Vedas, that is Samved, Atharva Ved, that another these 2 also are there, that you have to learn. Read it in the next lesson. Then his teachings also were similar to that. And who was that? The Iranian prophet? That was the Zoroasters. The basic teachings of the Zoroasters are contained in the magazine. What are good thoughts? बोले तो अच्छी सोच रखना. Good thoughts, good words, अच्छी बातें करना. And good deeds, और अच्छा कर्म करना. Who has given such a teachings? Such a teachings has given the Zoroasters. Here is a verse from the Zend Avesta. Verse means such a small poems we can say it, or doha we can say it. Lord, grant strength and the rule of the truth and good thinking, by means of which one shall create peace and tranquility. Now he said that God grant strength, कि जो गुड थॉट्स रखते हैं, गुड वर्ड्स यूज़ करते हैं एंड गुड डीड्स यूज मीन्स दे ऑलवेज बी गुड मीन्स अच्छे कर्म करते हैं, उनको क्या कर देना, स्ट्रेंथ देना, उनको क्या करना, पीस देना, और लाइफ हाउ टू लिव द लाइफ इन दैट, उसकी शक्ति देना. दिस टीचिंग्स गिवन बाय द जोरास्टर्स. For more than 1,000 years, Zoroastrianism means those who were following the Zoroaster's Quranic prophet that we are calling the Zoroastrianism was a major religion in Iran. Later some Zoroastrians migrated. Migrated means for going from one place to other places, that is the migration from Iran, and settled down in the coastal towns of Gujarat and Maharashtra. Now they were the ancestors of today's Parsis. The Parsis peoples, Parsi is one of the religion, and every year we get Parsi New Year holiday only. So such a Parsi peoples are there. They always follow the Zoroastrian's teachings, and his teaching is similar to the Vedas there. Understood? Now I think that you have understood the lesson, and in first lesson when I told you that you should have to read the Jatak stories, there many Jatak stories are there. I am very eager to tell you, but in the videos I cannot. Whenever our school open, I will tell one stories from the Gautam Buddha Jatak Kathas there. Understood? So read your lesson very properly, and if you have any queries, then you can ask me. Thank you, my children.